bringing the fresh horse back into work the right way. Part 2, Under Saddle. Now that I've lunged Lance in the cooler lunge and assessed that he is travelling evenly on both sides, is loose and swinging, I have then got on him to have a very brief ride. So to start off with, I want to make sure that he's listening to both of my legs. So I'm doing some turns on the haunches just to step him around and make sure he's moving off pressure evenly. I'm looking for him to step forward and under around off both sides. And then I'm riding a little bit of quarters out on the circle. I prefer to keep my warm up on the circle because it gives me more control rather than going on straight lines. So one of my coaches, one of my first dressage coaches, always said, teach it on the circle and then train it on the straight. And it's always stuck by me because if something's going to happen, it's easier to control a horse on a curved line rather than a straight line. If they're already on that curved line, you can just continue to turn them in because you've already got them into your outside rein. Not that Lance is going to do anything, obviously, but for future safety for a horse that might be a little bit less quiet than Lance. After I've stepped him around on the haunches, I can then move the haunches around the shoulders. So basically I'm looking to control all three quadrants of his body. So I want to be able to flex the head and neck in and out, move the shoulders, and move the hindquarters. I don't spend a lot of time in walk because I've already warmed him up on the lunge. So normally my walk warm-up would start for longer if I was just riding him under saddle. Now I'm going to put Lance into trot and just work on developing an even rhythm and tempo in the trot. We're going to keep it very basic today and just do some little transitions within the pace. Lance tends to want to push off the hindquarters and rush forward. So I'm concentrating on keeping him light into my hands and staying up in front. This involves lots of half hops to shift the weight back onto the hindquarters. In our next training session, I'll incorporate some more lateral work in the trot and some canter work. As always, I'm looking to keep everything smooth and even and regular and keeping him in an uphill frame as I ask for a slightly bigger trot. Now coming in off the other rein, I felt that he was overbending to the inside, which is why I flexed him out on the circle a couple of times because he's just wanting to fall on that outside shoulder. And then the same rules apply. I'm making sure that he's traveling evenly on the circle. So he's on the same size circle that he was on the left-hand side, even rhythm and tempo, and taking even strides with all four legs. And then asking for a little bit more ground cover, which I will then bring back to shift the weight back onto the hindquarters again before asking for a bigger trot. This can then be taken onto the straight, get a little bit more ground cover across the diagonal. And that's it for today's training session. This is just a brief snippet of it, keeping it very basic. So if you found this helpful, please subscribe to our channel, Cooler Lunge. Thank you for watching.